Do you wonder why our government is full of politicians rather than statesmen? Then stay tuned right now for the Kelli Ward Connection. She's bold, she's fresh, she's fearless. Here now, your host of the Kelli Ward Connection, Dr. Kelli Ward.
I got my high heels on, my boxing gloves. I can knock you out with a 1-2 punch. I'm perfume sweet and whiskey strong. I damn sure ain't no underdog. I might fall down, but I get back up. I shine bright and flaming going strong. You say I can't, well darling, watch me. You can't stop me 'cause I fight like a girl.
Well, welcome to the very first Kelli Ward Connection. I am Dr. Kelli Ward, your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. I think Arizona needs a new BFF, and I'm ready to be the bold, fresh, fearless voice we need. So listen up, speak out, make a difference. Let's do this. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, why the heck am I doing a radio show? You know, I met so many awesome people on the campaign trail when I ran for the United States Senate. I learned so much, and I know that people need an outlet to be able to get their views across. The two-way communication. I talked about it again and again and again when I was running for office. Two-way communication between the people who are elected and the people who are being represented. It's sorely missing in government. We've got to bring it back, and so I'm going to bring it back here with this show because the establishment on both sides of the aisle really controls the media. Their money, their power, give them the ability to forget who they work for. This show, the Kelli Ward Connection, is going to remind people in power who they work for. This is going to be a voice for we the people. Now, most people today listening probably already know me, but just in case, I'm going to tell you just a tiny bit about me. Former U.S. Senate candidate. I ran in the Republican primary on August 30th. Unfortunately, I was not able to be successful. I lost by 11 points. 40% to 51. Close race, really, going up against the opponent that I went against. I served in the Arizona State Senate as a very effective state legislator. I'm a military wife. I'm a family physician. I'm a mom. I've got 3 awesome kids. And I am ready to be your bold, fresh, fearless connection to this political talk. Now, a little bit about the format. We're going to do some timely discussion of current issues. Today, we're going to be talking about the recent terror attacks, and we're also going to be talking about Hillary's health. Hopefully people are really interested in that. And in the upcoming shows, we've got a few things scheduled. We're going to be talking about the refugee crisis, how it affects Phoenix, how it affects Arizona in general. And then we're going to go a little bit, not the party line. We're going to talk about politics as usual and what the people are seeking. We're going to talk about endorsing in other races. We're going to talk about the political class. We're going to talk about consultants. We're going to talk about all of those things with an expert, Rick Shafton. And we're going to talk about fighting radical Islam right here in Arizona with Zuhdi Jasser. He'll be here next week. So we've got a lot of things going on. We're going to have guests. We're going to have local guests. We're going to have state guests, national, international guests, experts, politicians, even some statesmen. I hope so. We're going to have thought leaders that join us on this program. And we're going to have a segment called Millennial Moments. Now, that might be something a little bit different. I don't think the millennials really have much of a voice other than, Twitter, Facebook. There are a lot of people who have blog radio spots. But I think the millennial voice is very important. It's something that needs to be heard. So we're going to have a segment dedicated to the millennial outlook on current events. And most importantly, the most important part of this show is you. It's you. I'm going to take your calls, and together we will make the connections that are needed to put this country back on the right track. So now, just to recap, I'm Dr. Kelli Ward. This is the Dr. Kelli Ward Connection. We are live on Independent Talk KFNX 1100 every week at 3 p.m. Call in now. The number is 602-277-KFNX, 602-277-5369. You can even call in toll-free from across the country, 866-536-1100, 866-536-1100. And you can contact me anytime on Facebook at Kelli Ward for Arizona. Now, it's Kelli Ward, number 4, Arizona. That's where we are streaming live on Facebook. Go find me there, or on Twitter at Kelli Ward AZ. And you've got to remember, it's Kelli with an I. because I am going to be your bold, fresh, fearless connection to political talk. So today we're going to discuss Hillary's health and the recent terror attacks across the United States. Now, since today is my very, very first broadcast, I do have a very special guest, at least to me. He is my number one connection, my love connection, my amazing, amazing husband, Dr. Michael Ward. Now, I'm bringing him on. We didn't know. I didn't know if he was going to come on or not. But apparently the political class does not like families. Now, I thought it was the liberal progressives who were trying to tear down our families, but a blurb in a recent Yellow Sheet report, and the Yellow Sheet is the political, gossip rag out of the Capital Times. It reveals that political elites don't seem to like close-knit, trusting families. Just like the Democrats. Very strange. So Dr. Michael Ward is my husband. He has his own political pedigree. He is the chairman of the Mojave County Republican Party. He's a precinct committeeman with a sharp intellect, and he's got a great political mind. But I will tell you, he lacks a politically correct filter at times. So I'm going to have him on. I don't know what he's going to say, but, I want to know, Mike, what did you think about the piece in the Yellow Sheet?
Well, it was pretty interesting. We haven't done any blow-by-blow, play-black public debate about your campaign for the U.S. Senate, but apparently some unnamed, quote-unquote, staff member decided to call
someone
out.
Close to the campaign.
Decided to call out your mom for her closeness to your campaign. And I thought it was kind of funny and sad, really, because you look at the Trump campaign right now, and his family's all around him. And the reason why candidates like their family around them is because you have to have someone nearby you can trust.
Yes, it's very difficult. I believe, you're
As physicians, we build trusting relationships. In the political world, I don't believe there are any.
Right. It's almost impossible because somebody's always willing to stab you in the back or stab you in the front to make some political gain for themselves.
And your mom's awesome.
My mom is awesome. And, I agree.
For people that weren't close to the campaign, Lorraine retired last year from practicing medicine. She's a pediatrician, extremely smart, capable lady with a lot of common sense and dedication to her daughter. They've got a great relationship. Mother and daughter relationships are fantastic when they're like theirs. And she went everywhere. She did everything for Kelli. She helped her get through her day, was there supporting her.
She became the campaign photographer, really. She documented so much on Facebook. She took amazing pictures. You can really tell in the photos when somebody takes it who cares about you and when somebody doesn't. The ones that turned out in the Arizona Republic definitely were not from people who cared about me. I can tell you that.
No, definitely not.
But, yeah, it was wonderful to be able to share something, really a rare occurrence in anyone's life to run for office.
I guess the other thing I learned today is that you are now going to follow in JD's footsteps and start a radio career or something. I guess that Bram doesn't realize still after all this time that you're a doctor and you have a career and you're a wife and you're a mother. And this is to help allow you to continue to connect with people out there. So sorry, Bram, this isn't a new career.
No,
sorry.
You're right. It's not a new career, but it is a great opportunity to be able to make the connections that people are looking for in the political world, something that's missing sometimes. Sometimes the people are not having their voice heard. And so it's great. It's great to be here. And yes, Bram Resnick, I'm not starting a new career. I've got a career as a family physician, as a military wife, and as a mom. But this is really a great, great opportunity to be here. And I'm so glad to be able to share the first show and the first segment of the first show with my number one connection. So I thank you for coming. And believe me, we are always going to be a political team. Both you and me, our kids, our parents, because it is very important to have those trusting relationships in your life. It is very important to have people by your side who are looking out for you rather than for themselves. And it is very, very rare in the political arena to get that and to be able to have it. So I feel very, very blessed to have had all of you at my side whenever I was facing the challenges that I faced, when I determined to be bold, fresh, and fearless myself and take on a long-sitting Republican senator in Senator McCain, and I would do it again. I would always have you at my side. I would always have you there with me, because developing that trust is extremely important. So I thank you. You have anything else you want to say? Any final closing?
Thanks for letting me on your show.
Yes, hey, it's pretty exciting to have a show, don't you
Good
think?
Stuff.
I think that we're going to a break. I'm not sure. Oh, yes, I hear the music. Here it comes. So remember, get in touch on social media, Kelli Ward for Arizona or at Kelli Ward AZ. I'm alive on Facebook today, and call in 602-277-KFNX, 602-277-5369. Talk to you soon.
I'm settling. I got my high heels on, my boxing gloves. I can knock you out with a 1-2 punch. I'm perfume sweet and whiskey strong. I damn sure ain't no underdog. I might fall down, but I get back up. I shine brightest when the going's tough. You say I can't, well darling, watch me. You can't stop me 'cause I fight like a girl.
Well, welcome back to the inaugural broadcast of the Kelli Ward Connection. And yes, I do fight like a girl. I am Dr. Kelli Ward, your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. Listen up, speak out, make a difference. I do want to welcome Wesley Alexander to the show. And before Rachel comes in, we're going to talk about Hillary's health. I have a couple of callers. I'm thrilled. It's great. So I'm going to go ahead and, Josh, can you give me George in Surprise talking about signs? Hi, George.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello,
How are
Kelly.
you?
I'm great and grateful. How about yourself?
I'm great. It's wonderful. You're my first caller ever, so I'm excited.
Ever?
Ever.
It's history.
It's history.
Oh, that's great, because, I was at the first baseball game for the World Series at the Arizona Diamondbacks. So it was baseball history, and now it's Kelli Ward history.
Awesome. So what's your question?
Well, I was just curious. Are you the one that have the signs that are not red, white, and blue?
Well, I'm one of the ones. There's lots of people who have different color signs. We used the very Goldwater colors of bright red and bright yellow. Red for being a Republican, yellow for a number of things, positivity, sunshine, and also don't tread on me. And so, but we also had a lot of blue in our campaign. If you saw my campaign RV, it was had a lot of blue. It had all Arizona colors of the Arizona flag. I think it's just aesthetics, and we loved using red and yellow as our colors.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's just curious, because you see that, and everything else is red, white, and blue.
Well, we wanted ours to stand out, of course, and, in a good way, and I think that they definitely did.
Well, excellent. And help me out, because I just tuned in. You're running against, it's a U.S. Senate.
No, I'm now a former candidate. I was unsuccessful in my primary bid for the U.S. Senate, but I am here because I want to keep people connected to bold, fresh, fearless political talk, and so that's what we're doing here today, and we will be doing every Wednesday right here.
Beautiful, Kelly. Best of luck to you. You go, girl.
Hey, thanks, George. It's great to talk to you. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Hey, Josh, I'm going to go to Matt in Litchfield Park.
You too.
Hey, Josh.
Hello, Matt, are you there?
Hi, Dr. Ward.
Hey, hi. You have a question of family remarks. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I just wanted to start out by congratulating you and welcoming you to the airwaves. It's great to have you now as a colleague instead of an interviewee. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing you for The Blaze a month or so back.
Yes, that is wonderful. It's great to hear from you. I thank you for calling in. And, because this is my first time, I've never taken callers before, but you're the second one. George just made history, but you're number two. So tell me, what's up?
I was so disappointed. But I did want to make a remark because I had to jump on to Mike's Facebook post, Dr. Michael Ward's Facebook post this morning regarding your mother.
Yes.
And I can't actually think of any successful candidate for office where their family hasn't been intrinsically involved in their campaign and hasn't been committed 100%. And when I had the pleasure of meeting you and your husband and your mother, you could feel that in the room, that they were 100% committed to your campaign and to supporting you, and that you all thought alike and believed alike. And if you look at Donald Trump's family, they're completely on board with him. If you look at Hillary Clinton's family, Bill Clinton and also Chelsea Clinton are both deeply involved in her campaign. So I don't see the criticism around having your family involved in your political aspirations.
Well, I thank you. I thank you for that, and I think you're exactly right. And I'm just going to keep on doing what works for me and what works for us. It doesn't have to work for the political class. And you know, it's a learning curve, and I'm ready to learn and see what the next big thing's going to be. But right now it is presenting bold, fresh, fearless political talk. So I'm going to get on here with Rachel Alexander, and I thank you, Matt, for calling, because I don't want to use her whole segment by just talking about myself. So I'm going to bring Rachel. Rachel's a senior editor at The Stream. The Stream is an online news source that launched in January 2015. So welcome again, Rachel, to the Kelli Ward Connection. I want you to tell me a little bit more about The Stream and how our listeners can find it and the news and the information that's presented there. And then we're going to get to Hillary's health.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And, Kelli, as you know, I've been a long-time fan of yours. I will be writing your name in for U.S. Senator instead of voting for that treacherous John McCain. Okay, so I write for The Stream now, and it's a fairly new site that came out with conservative news and opinion, and we're different than some of the other conservative sites out there because you're not going to encounter all the sleazy pop-up ads. You're not going to encounter ads at all, as a matter of fact. And it's got a Christian conservative, bent to it. We've got Protestants, we've got Catholics, and you're going to find a lot of Christian news, not just, your standard movement conservative and legal articles, the type of stuff that I write.
Oh, that's great. I hope that people will head over to The Stream, and when they do, they're going to see your brand new article on Hillary's health, right? It's going to be up. And this is especially timely because she collapsed on 9/11 at the memorial, her recent pneumonia. She's canceling events all over the place, even fundraisers. And there's a new report that she just this week had to be helped to walk up some steps. And now, while I have not physically examined her, and so I want to put that out there, I have not physically examined her, I, along with the rest of the world, have observed her. And that is one of the things that we do in medicine is we observe people whenever we are checking them out. So I've observed her, and I'm sure people around the world have too. And I keep coming back to her real disease, the disease of dishonesty. And I don't think she can get away from that. But I want to know, what is up, in your opinion, with Hillary's health?
Well, yeah, and based on all these other doctors who've come out and give their opinions, who also, have not attended to her, but they've seen her behavior on TV and the clips keep, multiplying. We keep seeing her jerk her head. We keep seeing her fall down. We keep seeing her cough. There's all kinds of strange behaviors, and a lot of these doctors are experts in their areas, whether they're internists or they've dealt with women's health issues. They are all starting to point to Parkinson's disease. They think it's something neurological. And in my article, I go through and I parse through how these doctors describe how, if you're falling down from pneumonia, you're not able to just get back up again, in a couple hours and, be hanging out outside your daughter's appointment, waving and talking to people. So there's all these different little things that these other doctors have pointed out, and you can't just dismiss them all. I mean, I put their pedigrees behind their names. These aren't just TV doctors, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, these are people with professional backgrounds who are heads of major medical departments who are saying these things about Hillary.
Right. They are talking about some very significant concerns over the 68-year-old's health. And now, were you as surprised as I was with the letter that her personal physician, Laura Bardak, MD, released about Hillary's health? I was concerned because that letter included a lot of political spin. She said that she had a mild, non-contagious bacterial pneumonia, which is not really a real diagnosis. So I was pretty concerned. Did you look over that letter at all?
Yeah, I read the entire letter. And what disturbed me is she just said she's in great health. She can be president. And she ignored a lot of the serious issues. She never brought up the history of blood clots. She never mentioned, all these other symptoms we've been seeing. She just sort of skimmed the surface.
Yes. And again, this is the Kelli Ward Connection. I'm Dr. Kelli Ward. Call us at 602-277-5369. Now, I know a lot of the physicians you were talking about, Dr. Lawrence Altman, Dr. Erica Schwartz, Dr. Ted Knoll, Dr. Jane Orient right here in Arizona. They have made some observations, and you talked about them in your article. Is there anything in particular that they are saying that you'd like to bring forward today?
Yes, one of those doctors said that not only does he believe that she has Parkinson's disease, but he believes that she has Parkinson's disease in the late stages.
Wow.
And that's pretty serious because if you're falling down and you can't even, we saw her holding that press conference at 8 p.m. after, Chelsea happened in New York, and, she could barely keep her eyes open. She was heavily medicated. So what's she going to do if something happens at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night?
Right. Well, okay, here's the ultimate question. Do you think Hillary is healthy enough to be the president?
Well, since I'm just going to get attacked and people are going to say you're not a doctor, you're not allowed to have an opinion, I will say based on the weight of these other doctors' opinions who have analyzed her, it would appear that she is not healthy enough to be president.
Well, I've seen a lot of that same kind of talk. And guess what? When I was on MSNBC, even though I am a doctor, I was attacked relentlessly because I even had the gall to bring something up about Hillary's health. So I thank you so much, Rachel. That was Rachel Alexander, senior editor at The Stream. You can go to The Stream at stream.org and you can find out all about it. And again, come on back. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the Millennial Moment. Are you fed up with politics as usual? Do you wonder why our government is full of politicians rather than statesmen? Listen to the Kelli Ward Connection every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Are you looking to connect with like-minded Arizonans? I'm Dr. Kelli Ward. The Kelli Ward Connection is your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. Join the conversation anytime on Facebook at Kelli Ward for Arizona. That's Kelly with an I. And listen here Wednesdays at 3 p.m. And we are back. This is the Kelli Ward Connection. I am Dr. Kelli Ward, your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. Listen up, speak out, make a difference. Now, we just heard a bit about Hillary Clinton and the health concerns that have been plaguing her and her campaign really for years, but more intensely, obviously, now as she runs for president. I do have a couple of callers, and then we're going to get to our millennial moments. So let's go to J.D. in Mesa. J.D.
Ward, it was my distinct honor and pleasure to meet you and your husband, Mike, during the campaign and interview you 3 times. So glad to hear you on the air. Welcome to the Big Mike.
Hey, J.D., it is great to talk to you. I'm so glad to hear from you. You were awesome. The Article 5 Hour right here on KFNX. If you haven't listened, listen in. I think it's Sunday nights, right, from 7 to 8?
Sunday at 8 p.m. That's correct.
Sunday at 8 p.m. So Sunday at 8 p.m. Tune in, Article 5 Hour.
Thank you for the plug. That's not really why I called. I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Now, as you know, I supported your campaign as much as I possibly could. We did it on our show. We interviewed you. I told everyone I know to vote for you.
I thank you.
And unfortunately, we weren't successful this time around. But in the spirit of not being a never-Trumper and asking the never-Trumpers to vote for Trump, even though he is so distasteful, I'd like to say that I think we should probably consider not losing the Senate and throw our vote the Republican direction on this election. What are your thoughts, Dr. Ward?
Well, I thank you, J.D., for that. We are going to be talking about just that issue on October 5th with Rick Shafton. He is a political consultant. He's an extremely conservative person. He was a Ted Cruz backer. And we're going to be talking about that kind of expectation from the party whenever hard-fought primaries happen, and then what happens afterwards in the mindset. So, I'm still waiting for Senator McCain and his campaign to call and apologize for all the lies and deceit that they put out about me and clear the record and clear that thing up, and make sure that he makes that public so that people don't believe all of the lies that, that I was against the military or for ISIS and voted against keeping our country safe. But, I'm waiting for that. So as soon as I get that call and he makes that public announcement, I'll be coming out full force for him. But I don't expect that's coming anytime soon. Do you?
Yeah, I was going to say, please don't hold your breath on that one. Politics is a blood sport, and it is a filthy business. Yes. And that's why I'm surprised to see someone like you, who's not that way, involved in it. but grateful nonetheless. And I want to thank you and your family from the bottom of my heart for your efforts to try to be our senator from Arizona.
Well, I thank
and I
you.
hope you do it again sometime. We'll be right there with you.
I thank you so much for your support and your belief in me and that in all of us, and we the people, that we can really make this country something, this government something that works for us rather than something we feel like we're fighting against. So thanks, JD. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye. I'm going to go to Lala in Peoria with some comments.
This is Leah.
Oh, Leah. They wrote Lala. It's okay.
That's okay.
Hi,
Listen,
Leah.
I am a member of Arrowhead Republican Women. I worked on your campaign.
Yes.
I passed out pins and badges and banners and got signatures, and I am so disappointed. I want to echo what JD said. It was an honor and privilege to have you put your name out there, and I just believe so much in your mindset and what you're doing. I agree that your opponent was just dastardly, and I cannot vote for him. He needs to come out and really apologize and be sincere. It was dirty, dirty, dirty opposition, and I cannot vote for him. I will write you in, and I've encouraged everyone else I know to write you in. And I sincerely hope that you run again.
I thank you for your support. I thank you for all you did to help me. And, I'm weighing my options. I don't know. This is pretty exciting, being able to get out here and bring bold, fresh, fearless political talk to the people. And
congratulations.
I thank you. I thank you, Leah. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to go and get with my next guest.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Joining me right now is Wesley Alexander, and that is no relation to Rachel, who was just here. That's just happenstance. He is best known for his Never Hillary work as Young Dems for Trump. Young Dems, number 4, Trump on Twitter. You might be surprised that I, as a tried and true liberty-loving conservative, would invite a young Democrat to be on my show. But I think, actually, I know that the millennial perspective is something that everyone in politics should be looking for and listening to, because they represent our future, after all. And Wesley knows his stuff. He researches. He learns. He's about logic and information with a little bit of emotion, a little bit of snark, and a little bit of fun thrown in. And I think that describes many millennials I know, including my very own kids. So, Wes, welcome to the Kelli Ward Connection.
Thank you so much. It's great to be on.
Hey, it's great to have you. Now, I want you to tell us how you got involved in politics, and also how to connect with you, because there are going to be millennials out there who want to have a voice, who want to connect with you in particular about the Kelli Ward Connection. We are all about making connections. So how'd you get into politics, and how do we connect?
Well, initially, my dad was a very staunch, still is a very staunch conservative. I was raised on the gospel of Glenn Beck, and that's actually initially why I ended up being a Democrat, was because there's a lot of things that weren't actually true that he says. But and going forward, what really got me into politics was just seeing this raucous political climate that was going on with this guy Donald J. Trump. And I ended up going to a rally. I brought my Young Democrats for Trump banner. Donald Trump fist bumped me, told me to make America great again, and I actually met Kelli Ward at the rally.
Yes, I remember it clearly. I have pictures from the rally.
I was like, okay, she's running for Senate. I didn't really know who she was until I started seeing these vicious John McCain attack ads, not by John McCain, but by Friends for John McCain.
Yes, at the Arizona Grassroots Action PAC. Nothing about Arizona or grassroots, FYI.
Oh, no. And so I saw these ads, and I was like, what? Who is this lady, man? These guys are really hitting her hard. And these attack ads look like, Obama anti-Romney attack ads, from, 2012. And so I looked her up, I found her, and I was like, you know what, honestly, she's a candidate that doesn't, I don't necessarily agree with her on everything she says. But the thing is that we know is that she is clearly for the people. She doesn't have any special interest ties whatsoever. And you know what? I'm a Democrat, and I would rather take somebody that's a Republican over someone who's just a corrupt Democrat.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. So, okay, I want to know, we just were talking about Hillary's health. Do you have any thoughts on Hillary's health, and does it really even matter to millennials? Is it something that millennials are thinking about when they're deciding who they want to vote for?
Well, there are two things that I'd like to talk about Hillary's health. So, number one, the big thing for Hillary's health is absolutely does matter because, we're looking at that cane. Oh, my God. Well, that put aside, though, the big thing for millennials is how they doubled down on just lying about it.
Yes.
Dark conspiracy theorists of the alt-right, and everything they said was a complete lie. And they've done absolutely nothing to address their complete, utter lies about everything. And it wasn't even just Hillary Clinton campaign. We're talking CNN, MSNBC, CBS, it's a whole big group of people that just lie and they don't care.
Right. I love the talking points about powering through on every station, not just liberal stations, every station talking about how Hillary Clinton was going to power through her pneumonia, as though those talking points had been just distributed and they all just put them out.
They just got done slamming every single conservative person that ever said that, there might be there might be a question about her health. And they completely viciously slam them, call them conspiracy theorists, slander them. And then, oh, my God, Hillary Clinton falls down on 9/11.
You're exactly right. It seems like the Clinton campaign, their first instinct is to lie, mislead, deflect, turn things away from what the truth is. Now, we've only got 1 minute in this segment left. I can't believe it's gone by so fast. I have a question. I want you to sum up your thoughts about the millennial view of U.S. politics today. I know it's a big question with only a small amount of time, but give it your best shot.
The millennial view is, there's a lot of people, they just don't listen. The media just overrides everything, and millennials are looking at everything, and it's very scary. It's very scary thinking, you're looking at the ties of these corporations, huge corporations. You're looking at National Amusement that owns CBS, that's donating to Clinton. It's unbelievable. It's very scary. We need to do something, and something fast.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much for joining me, Wesley, because I look forward to having you on this show very often, maybe every single week, for the Millennial Moments segment. Now, we're going to be back in a few, so don't go away. I think we've had a great show so far. Families and politics, Hillary's health. We're going to discuss the terror attacks and how both presidential candidates plan to stop terrorism in the United States. So don't go away. See you soon. Are you fed up with politics as usual? Do you wonder why our government is full of politicians rather than statesmen? Listen to the Kelli Ward Connection every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Are you looking to connect with like-minded Arizonans? I'm Dr. Kelli Ward. The Kelli Ward Connection is your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. Join the conversation anytime on Facebook at Kelli Ward for Arizona. That's Kelli with an I. And listen here Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Well, welcome back to the last segment of this week's show. This is the Kelli Ward Connection. I am Dr. Kelli Ward, your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. Listen up, speak out, make a difference. Now, we are going to talk now about the candidates' plans to stop terror attacks like we saw over the last several days. There was a knife attack in a mall of all places in St. Cloud, Minnesota. A Somali-American man stabbed 10 people. There was a bombing. Yes, I will call it a bombing. I guess it's fine to call it a bombing now. A bombing in New York City. Terror on the streets of this great United States. Something none of us want to face. Something all of us hope and pray never to experience. So we have two major candidates for president. My choice, of course, is Mr. Donald Trump, and we also have the liberal progressive choice, Democrat Hillary Clinton. And so I ask you, do you think that either candidate has a plan that will work to stop terrorism here and abroad? Now, you can call in. Don't forget to call in now, 602-277-5369, 602-277-KFNX, because this is Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. So give me a call. I think we are going to hear a lot about this at the debate on Monday. I do want you to go to my Twitter poll. It's at Kelli Ward AZ, Kelli with an I, and let me know if you are going to be watching the debate. Weigh in at Kelli Ward AZ, KelliWard AZ. I'd love to hear from you. Now, Wesley's still here with me from the Millennial Moment because I didn't get much time with him. And I do want to ask him, what do you think about this bombing and this terror attack and what's been happening? I mean, from the Democrat perspective, you shared some interesting information that they were kind of happy it was a bomb.
Oh my God. It was insane. You look at Christopher Hayes. He's an MSNBC reporter. His first tweet was, "We are also very, very lucky that the attackers tried to use explosives rather than guns."
Wow.
This is literally this anti-gun narrative, and it's out of control. I personally, I think we should have some sort of gun control, but do I think that we were very lucky that someone detonated a bomb in New York? No, I don't think that at all. And it's unbelievable they said it, and the media completely they suppressed all the news coming out.
Yes.
And then they attacked Donald Trump for accurately, again, saying that it was a bomb.
That's right. That's right. Now, let's get to their plan. So Hillary's plan, it's basically counter-messaging to prevent radicalization and recognizing signs of extremism and radical behavior. And I don't think that this plan would have prevented anything recently. And it actually risks our liberty in the name of security. And we know what Benjamin Franklin said. If you're willing to give up your liberty in the name of security, then you're likely going to have neither. And you deserve neither. And I think she doesn't have much respect at all for the Constitution, Second Amendment, in this case, the Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment. She actually told the Brookings Institute that, quote, "You're going to hear all the familiar complaints, freedom of speech, period." She suggested that those complaints should be dismissed. And to me, that sounds like trouble. Big, big trouble. What do you think, Wes?
Oh, it absolutely spells trouble. And if you're talking about the disrespect of the Clinton campaign, her going on and on about the David Duke endorsement of Trump, yet the Orlando shooter's father, who ran for the president of a Middle Eastern country, this guy who literally raised his child and arguably radicalized him himself, and he's openly supporting Clinton, and there's nothing said about it. He's at Clinton rallies and nothing said about it. I personally have many gay friends, and let me tell you, they are all voting for Trump. They're all voting for Trump.
Well, I hope we certainly see a landslide. Now, with her plan, she's relying on community members and family members to call in. Well, Rahami's dad, the guy in the New York bombing, his own dad called the FBI on this guy in 2014. So just think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that. If that wasn't somebody telling authorities that someone had recognized early warning signs of extremism, I don't know what is. And so her plan, her early warning system, really just misses the mark. And it runs the risk of stepping over the constitutionally protected right to privacy as well as our rights to free speech. And I don't think we will ever identify every bad actor, which is why I believe that Donald Trump's plan has a lot more merit. Oh, we have a call. We'll get to that in 1 second. Go ahead. We're going to get a call. Hi, Dr. Bird.
Hello.
Well, my mom had to call in. This is my mom, Lorraine Bird. And hey, don't you think you're getting too close to this campaign, Mom? Aren't you listening to those politicos?
Absolutely not. I have enjoyed every single minute of it. And I'm so glad I will never have to call the FBI and turn you in for anything.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure that the NSA is probably, monitoring us regularly. Who knows?
I just wanted to call in and congratulate you on your first show, and you are doing a great job. You are a natural. And I also want to tell everybody out there that I enjoyed so much trading my stethoscope for my iPhone camera and a bag of Kelli buttons and hitting the campaign trail with my wonderful daughter.
Well,
I'm so proud of you, and was glad to be a part of it.
Well, we definitely
I love you.
I love you too. And we definitely have a never-ending connection, a mother-daughter bond like no other. And I couldn't have asked for anyone better to be there with me almost every single step of the way during that campaign. So I love you, Mom.
I love you. Get back to it.
All right, getting back to it. Hey, I want to get to Mr. Trump. And his plan, because he wants to keep terrorists out of the country altogether. We know that the current vetting process is not working. It simply isn't working. We've seen the proof from Paris to San Bernardino and more. And so there's absolutely no mandate for us, the United States, to allow anyone at all to come into our country. There is no right to come to the United States. The Constitution ensures that our government is going to protect United States citizens and the U.S. homeland. And this may take, I think, so-called extreme measures. That's how the media likes to describe Donald Trump's plan and the things that he promotes, things like limiting access to the United States from countries that have been compromised by radical Islamic elements, considering seizing assets like oil in areas where ISIS operates, and most importantly of all, fixing our broken immigration system. As I always said on the campaign trail, I am ready to mix the mortar to fix the border. And I think the majority of Arizonans and the majority of Americans are as well. What do you think about Trump's plan?
Oh, well, going with Trump's plan is absolutely. You have people that could be coming over. It's common sense. It's common sense. That's all it is. And it's surprising that common sense is viewed as, racist, fascist, whatever. These liberals, they just open up the basic sociology 101 textbook, flip to the glossary and name some random words that they think fits the narrative. And it's absolutely not true. And when you look at, Trump's pro-gun, who stopped the guy in Minnesota? Who stopped him? It was a good American.
That's right.
With a gun.
Yes. Well, we all know. I think that probably most of the people listening right now know that I'm a staunch supporter of our Second Amendment. I sponsored the Second Amendment Protection Act every year that I was in the legislature in Arizona, and I was endorsed by some great gun advocacy groups, the Gun Owners of America and the National Association for Gun Rights. I have a great NRA score. And so I think we do have to be able to protect ourselves personally. And we shouldn't be giving up that personal protection in the name of letting the government take over that role. So, we've got just a few minutes left in the show. I do want to tell you a little bit about some upcoming shows. We are going to be talking to experts from the Center for Immigration Studies about the refugee issue, problems with radical Islam. And so do not miss it. We're going to be right here on KFNX 1100 Independent Talk every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I can't believe the hour has gone by so fast. This ends the premiere broadcast of the Kelli Ward Connection, and I am Dr. Kelli Ward. I hope you liked what you heard. I hope you enjoyed a glimpse of the inner workings of the show via Facebook Live. I do want to thank Josh on the board, and I want to thank my guests, Rachel Alexander and Wes Alexander. I look forward to being your BFF, your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. Thank you for listening up. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for making a difference. I'll see you here next week at 3 o'clock on KFNX 1100 Independent Talk. I hope you'll stay in touch all week on social media at Kelli Ward AZ. Go do that poll on Twitter and Kelli Ward for Arizona on Facebook. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. See you soon.